After 6 months, we finally got the 5th episode of Amazing Digital Circus, Untitled. In it, we speed run a bunch of different adventures. Shenanigans and bonding ensue. The episode opens with Zooble by herself in the circus reading, "What do your parts say about you?" The rest of the team return from an off-screen under-the-sea adventure. Kane is very open to Zooble's frustration. Zooble's parts seem a little bit normal. It's pretty similar to her pilot design, now with a peg leg, and instead of the black and white striped Y, it's kind of a Tim Burton snake. Summoning the rest to discuss the next adventure.
I'll tour my amazing magic chocolate factory and get killed off one by one from OSHA violations.
Of course, this is referencing Willy Wonka, which has been referenced in every episode so far.
One where a sentient cardiovascular system goes to war against the United States military.
I don't exactly understand what he means by that reference.
One where you have to survive in a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland with a telepathic talking dog who's mean to you the whole time.
I'm not sure about that second one, but the third one's directly referencing the plot to A Boy and His Dog, down to the telepathic rude dog. It's also pretty notable for a very unfamily-friendly thing, Kane. So instead, why don't we use the suggestion box? Which really angers Kane. Most of them are really indifferent to it, and also Kane says, "Oh man, imagine running other AI." So instead, we're gonna lightning round and speed through all these suggestions. And the team can vote to change or skip the Mario Party. Starting with Jax's suggestion, Poacher's Paradise, which Jax explains in little shorts, that everyone is animals like Rhino Gangle, and Jax is gonna shoot them. This, including the nice shot spin around of the kill, directly references those hunting games your brother forces you to play on the Wii that's in every single bar in America. Flamingo Zooble suggests we skip this and make Jax a vegan for today.
You can't do that. Democracy sucks.
Speaking of, Pomni gets to be the president in another Jax suggestion. The Oceania nations are at war. New Zealand and Australia are going at it. Pomni's playing the role of president pretty well because she doesn't know what to do, she's easily distracted, and she never got a briefing. Kinger's gonna play politician and say the war is good so he can take over Oceania for business. We can see photos for Lou, Jax, a abstracted for some reason, the Candy Kingdom, and a swan that's in a business suit. Then Jax bursts in as the typical Liberal Party minister from Australia with a bomb full of spiders. But he walks in on Monica Lewinsky, these cheeky writers. And Pomni has to be her own bomb squad. Also, her favorite color is red, and Kinger's favorite color is black. Then Gangle bursts in as the typical headhunter in New Zealand. It goes about as well as you expect. One brief intermission, and we go to Anime World, because Gangle. Yes, it's 2D, and yes, they're going to high school. I like that Ragatha gets to keep her dress as a skirt, but it's significantly shrunk down. Both Pomni and Gangle don't wear the overcoat, and Zooble gets to wear the boy uniform, looking like a JoJo character with the pop collar. Kinger's the teacher, and there's a couple references in the background. You can tell whose locker's who with their logos on them. King's face, 12457, Pomni's original name with the letter blocks, abstracted origami, couple Zooble parts, a picnic basket we'll see later. This might be a Hello Kitty reference on the pencil bag. Gangle's drawing Ragatha, and a bunch of Gaslight District references like the Black Hand and photos of Mel on the corkboard, probably because it went into production around the same time. Given that it's 2D, I kind of wanted it to be Knights of Guinevere, but whatever. Jax tries to call Gangle a weeaboo even though he has anime opinions. Pomni references that she was tossed off a truck by Jax in episode 2. Despite the fact they're speaking English, they write in kanji. Also, Gangle did something really cheeky with an anime figure. Leave that up to your own imagination. Skipping anime, and we go to Stargazing. Just like the end credits, everyone's just outside of the circus staring at the stars. This is the first time we really had a major scene outside of the circus. And I'm guessing this was Kinger's idea because Pomni's confused by it. Jax thinks Gangle likes him picking on her because he's clearly crushing. Pomni asks if he has actual friends, and Ragatha references he used to, which really upsets him. And he thinks Ragatha's a little condescending, always being so chipper about everything. Also, you might have used to have a tail. The Moon flirts with Kane, but worse, they actually like the suggestions more than the Kane adventures. Ignoring Bubble, and we cut to
intermission time.
We get this super trippy, 2000s cartoon bumpers, or I guess Dumbo's pink elephants, which is probably the thing that took the episode the longest to do. Jax, Pomni, and Zooble are doing sexy poses in a 2000s music video, one of which is Pomni frogging because she was originally supposed to be a frog, which gets retextualized because we find out that friend that Jax used to have used to be a frog. We get to the next adventure, which was promoted as Gangster World, but is actually just Bar World. I love the aesthetics that everything is black and white, except for the neon signs. It just looks really cool. Jax orders a whiskey sour, hold the egg, because he's vegan for the day, so that's why it doesn't have the white foam that it normally would have. Ragatha, in a sexy dress, orders a cosmopolitan. Kinger orders a thing. Everyone else has just bread, so it's probably just grenadine. Digital Caneberry. This was Zooble's idea, and because it's a bar, it's time for some revelations. Pomni is 25 years old, used to be an accountant for a supermarket, but her true passion was making videos about urban exploring, going through abandoned buildings. And much like me, she makes them more for herself rather than just for views. Zooble also likes doing that, but not recording it. Jax just says the plot to Breaking Bad, which Zooble immediately recognizes. Ragatha has never heard of it, which makes me question how long she's been in the circus. We learned last time that Gangle was in fast food, but she also wanted to get a community college degree in graphic design until she dropped out. Zooble worked at a bar, and she did tattoo art, which Jax thinks is hilarious because lesbian. Ragatha, like I suspected last episode, is a rich country girl with horses and stuff, but also she had this overbearing mother, where nothing was ever good enough for her and she always yelled at her. Also, she did real estate. Pomni might be the only one who knows about Kinger's wife. Also, this mannequin is disappearing guy. He just disappears sometimes. Jax actually apologizes for the president stuff earlier, because he clearly wants to be friends with Pomni. Ragatha thinks this is super suspicious, so she mentions, hey, remember Kaufmo's attack in episode 1? And tries apologizing for the stupid stuff from last episode. Also, Jax has an irrational fear of corn. But Kane's getting bored, so we're moving on to good old-fashioned softball, which was Ragatha's suggestion, which was actually set up in an earlier episode with her playing baseball with Gangle. We got a pretty good crowd and a lot of sponsorship. Like CAC, Spudsy's Burgers, and Kaufmo Tire. Everyone's cheering for their team, and some are even cheering for both teams. Some of the digital team gets new hats. This is our first time seeing Pomni without her jester cap. And they're playing against their evil mirror counterparts.
Sup, I'm Evil Pomni. I'm Evil Ragatha.
That's hot. Also, British Ragatha was kind of set up when Gooseworks was laughing at the fact that everyone thought that Ragatha was going to be evil with the dream sequence in episode 2.
Coach Dictator!
Hi, guys. I'm Evil Jax.
That immediately makes me think of the South Park episode of the evil mirror counterparts, but Cartman's evil counterpart is actually a good person.
I'm Zooble. Yibba-dooba-da.
Wasn't in my suggestion.
Why don't I get an evil clone?
Yeah, what gives? I guess it's a little more interesting, but I definitely wanted to see an evil Gangle that's super confident and takes over the team or something. Disappearing guy appears again for the national anthem. For some reason, he's played by Jobby the Hung, a toy, mostly Transformer reviewer. Kinger, like most coaches, has no idea what's going on. So let's play ball! Is that Glitch Depot like Home Depot? Ragatha immediately gets out. Gummy Goo Gatorade. Ragatha's upset. Tired? Try going to sleep. Can't wake up? Open your eyes. We get a reference to all the sodas from last episode, plus Task Corp, which is a reference to Meta Runner of all things. More surprised they didn't throw in a JC Jensen. Then everyone but Pomni and Jax votes for him to put on a French maid outfit. Oh, Jax, don't look over there. CNA is a symbol we've only seen in episode 1, and it's clearly meant to be Cain and Abel. Jax clearly strikes out on purpose. And Kinger is right, Zooble's eye is bigger than his. Softball is like baseball, but with bigger bats and balls. But a little bit of shenanigans, and Ragatha's just frustrated. And Pomni's like, come on, you've seen Inside Out, it's okay to be a little bit negative. Jax is flirting with evil Pomni. They finally get another ball and he strikes out. So Ragatha blows up on him, saying that he's not as cool as he thinks, and he just ruins everything. And Pomni's like, whoa, settle down. I said it's okay to be a little negative. You don't need to be screaming them bad words. So she apologizes, and Jax gets scared by corn like a cat. But during this, Gangle actually ran a home run. Zooble concusses evil Zooble, and that counts as a homie. Pomni gives her turn to Ragatha, and she's going to prove herself, but also evil Zooble's still dead, so she wins a homie by default. Hooray! Game's over, even though the evil team didn't go up the bat, and evil Ragatha just melts in the background for some reason. And the game is over. So Jack goes cannibalizing evil Jax. Pomni thinks that's funny, and Ragatha thinks that's sus. Everyone gets back home. Pomni and Jax go to look at a thing in the wall. Ragatha thinks that's kind of suspicious, but not as suspicious as Disappearing Man is in the circus, which was actually set up earlier with Pomni seeing him, kind of. This is a wonderful episode. The lightning round thing was an interesting twist. A whole lot happens in the episode, but we get just enough of everything. Even though I definitely wanted more of the adventures, especially the anime and the evil team. And it's a fantastic episode for the characters. Everyone gets a little bit of time to shine and explain themselves. Like Ragatha opening up, and even Jax opening up. Like how Jax is clearly just trying to be friends, even though he's hurting everyone, because he thinks this is how people make friends. Which I feel like every guy kind of goes through a phase like this. And he kind of sees himself in Pomni, as well as seeing his former friend in Pomni. And learning about Ragatha's mom clearly shows that she sees her mom's rudeness and condescension in Jax. And she's scared that Pomni's going down a similar route, and she really hates that. And she might be a little bit scared that she's getting isolated because Jax and Pomni are now hanging out. Zooble and Gangle are besties, and Kinger's insane, so now Ragatha really doesn't have a number 2 to hang out with. Each episode just continues to get better and better. 10 out of 10. Let me know your opinions down below, as well as subscribing and hitting that like button.